Hi everyone and welcome back to today's morning report on Monday the 23rd of May with me, which is market analyst at Antec Markets. Moving on to cable, and we're seeing a pretty mixed outlook on cable, aren't we? I mean, basically we saw that rally that we sort of was pulling high early part of last week. Had a pretty sort of neutral candle on Thursday and then subsequently corrective candle on Friday. You could argue that's not a million miles away from being an evening doji star, which is a corrective signal. Yeah, it's not. Sorry, an evening star. It's not a million miles off a doji, but an evening star, which is a strong bull candle, and then a neutral candle with a very small body, and then a strong bear candle. You didn't have the strength of that bear candle on Friday wasn't as much as the bull candle, so it's arguably a bit of a sort of an incomplete pattern. But today's candle was pretty much sort of questioned that anyway, because it's sort of bounced about 30 ticks up on the day now, and you sort of look at these momentum indicators, don't you? You think, well, it's pretty much neutral, medium term, slight bullish bias, but nothing really excessively bullish about it. You'd argue positive because basically you're trading above this old sort of resistance, really. But again, it's nothing too significant. I mean, you're still in this downtrend. You still haven't closed clear of that downtrend. And the argument being would be whether sort of you can get traction to the upside. I mean, basically you've got this whole sort of Brexit issue hanging over cable, and that's going to create the volatility. And I think you're not really going to get too much traction in moves before you get a volatile swing back again. So I think you're hanging on to a slightly positive bias, but again, it's nothing really excessive. Here we go, the hourly chart. You sort of completed this this downside break pattern that I spoke about on Friday, that gave you an implied 44.60 target. It didn't quite get there, which, if you are sort of of the thinking that this is a slightly positive outlook now, that's not to be unexpected. I think with an incomplete downside pattern, but the good thing is, I think, from this perspective, is also you found support at 44 figure last week, and then pulled higher, and then it seems to be that you're sort of using the top of that old consolidation pattern around 44.80, or some old highs anyway, as the basis of support again. So you're seeing a sort of succession now of higher lows, having sort of formed that 43.31. You've got 44 figure here, and then 44.80. So it's a very slightly positive bias, but without being sort of excessively positive, because I think that once again, when you see a certain amount of upside, I think you're gonna result in a fairly volatile market because of this Brexit thing. So argument. So I think that's going to create overhead supply and ultimately profit taking. So you need to bear that in mind. I think when you do see some gains, I think they're going to be some short, sharp moves, but I think they're going to get some retracements as well. So if you're playing the long side on that, I think that's how you need to be careful of. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you again later. Thank you.